Strategically, what's the long-term plan here? Do you want to reiterate what that roadmap is?
Yeah, I think that where investors are particularly interested, not only in our ability to grow revenue and earnings, but more importantly in our ability to generate ample levels of free cash flow.
Yeah.
We have demonstrated for many years now to be pretty determined in returning the majority of that free cash flow to our shareholders in the form of stock buybacks and dividends. With the wind down of the wireless products, which consumed an awful lot of R&D for us,
Yeah.
versus the amount of revenue or free cash flow that we could generate, with the wind down of that and with the remaining business becoming a bigger portion of our total revenue, we expect that we'll continue to generate probably growing levels of free cash flow as we go forward, which will continue to be good for our shareholders because, as they've seen us do in the past, we will continue to use that free cash flow in the form of dividends and stock buybacks.
Decision to exit the wireless business. I mean, can you explain the rationale behind that? Because obviously, this is a boom time for for smartphones and handhelds and a lot of mobile devices as well. Kind of, where does Texas Instruments see its future within the context of all that?
Well, as it relates to cell phones and tablets and so on, we will continue to participate in those end markets with the balance of our portfolio, our analog portfolio and our embedded processing portfolio. The spaces inside those markets that we will no longer participate in has to do with the applications processor and the connectivity products and so on. And specifically what we saw changing there, while the market is very large, it turns out that the largest players are actually adjusting their strategy, namely Apple, which has been, as we all know, highly successful in the handset space. They actually developed their own applications processor.
Yeah.
And so vendors such as us don't even have an opportunity to sell them an apps processor. Similarly, in the last year plus or so, we've seen Samsung move in a similar path to where they are developing their own apps processor. And so when you got the two largest players in the cell phone space strategically deciding to develop their own apps processors and not buy it from suppliers such as us, the actual size of the market is not as big as you think.
Right.
Especially in relation to the size of the research and development costs to develop those processors. And so when we just do the math, we've decided that we have much better opportunities to spend that R&D someplace else to grow our revenue rather than specifically aimed at cell phones and tablets.